Not in the Netherlands, man. Teachers don't give you no confidence. They're like, teacher told me straight up. He said, hey man, this isn't for you. You should do something else. You should do something else. And I was like, excuse me? Boy, that ego took over for a second. I was like, oh, this got me f***ed up. This got me all the way f***ed up. He don't know I'm from Durham, like, what's up? But nah, he was right. He was right.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
So I had already had undergraduate student debt. That's just is what it is. But now we're going to go to Amsterdam. I'm not working and I'm going to take on more debt. The fear is installed like malware. Upload it, it's installed. Because now, one, already was not working and turned down a job to pursue a master's and took on more debt at the same time. It's almost like when a team comes down, misses the three, and then the other team gets the long rebound, gets an easy three on the other, and it's like a double whammy on both sides. It's like, could have been making money, but I took on debt. Not gonna be getting income in the short term. So the fear is already there because I've only been with my wife for, at the time, only been married about 2 years upon arriving and had known each other all of like 3 years. I was fearful already, man, gee, if you f this up, she is going to leave your ass.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
She is gone. There was no way in my head. We got there being married 2 years. If we leave in 2 years and what I've done is accumulated a graduate degree of debt and don't have a graduate degree to show for it, this marriage is toast.
No.
That was what was in my head. So I ain't gonna lie to you. As soon as I realized I would be pursuing this time period as a full-time student, I was afraid. I was afraid. I was afraid of what would happen if I didn't do this. I was afraid of what would happen if I do it and I failed. I was just afraid of all this. Like, it was like, I knew this is what had to be done and I was afraid. I did not have the belief or faith in myself. I didn't. When I started that program, that Masters of Economics, let me tell you, tough. I don't know about y'all. But for me personally, just growing up, dealing with teachers and education, I never experienced what it was like to argue for higher grades. I never experienced that. If you get a 69, at least this is what it was in high school, 7-point grading scale. So a 69 was the highest F. If your shit was a 68, like, teacher would just look at you like, you got a 68. There was no back and forth about why it should be a 70 or here or there. Like, it wasn't expected that you would argue for higher grades. When I went to school in the Netherlands, man, one, just the style in which it wasn't what I was used to. So I'm getting a whole culture shock. Just the fact that the professor is up here writing numbers with these commas instead of decimals. I'm confused like a motherfucker, man. I'm like 1,000 and what? And it's like 1 point something. Motherfuckers using commas. Americans use decimals. Saying shit like Zed. I don't even understand what I'm like, yo, who the is Zed? I don't even know, man. It's crazy, man. Like, it was an adjustment that I didn't even foresee. Like, I couldn't have predicted it because I had no exposure, no clue what I was signing up for. For me, you know, that semester, I met some great friends. Shout out to the homies who I met in that econ program, who I speak to this day. The benefit of that program was that I met people from all over the world, man. Those homies are from Brazil, Poland, the UK, Connecticut. Crazy, man. Crazy. Let me see if I'm forgetting anybody. Oh, yeah, my Italian and German homies. And, of course, the Dutch homies as well. But you just meet so many different people from so many different backgrounds. I moved to the Netherlands in the summer of 2015. Yep, correct. And by the winter of 2015, going into 2016, I had failed out of the program. I couldn't pass one class. And this is where like I started to see students going up to people's like after the class, mad, like they would get their results. And so the Netherlands, they were on like a 10-point grading scale. It wasn't something I was familiar with. It was a 1 through 10. And if I remember correctly, honors is maybe 8 and above. And I think passing was around 6. I can't remember exactly. I really can't. But I'll say this. My grades was 1 and 2s. My shit was low as hell. And so my shit is like 1.5. Sometimes my shit be 0.5. I be looking at my shit like, damn, my shit is terrible. And then these other people will be sitting here, they be having a 7, 7.5, and they be like, man, this shit should be an 8. It should be an 8. And I'll be like, man, damn, my shit say 0.5. And then I would see some of my friends go argue for that 8. I'd be like, oh my goodness. They just got a higher grade because they went and argued. So I told myself, man, I got this 0.5. Let me see if I can get this bitch to a passing grade. Let me go argue for this thinking I'm a smooth talking who can argue. The Dutch will humble you. They are honest. Humbled me, that's for sure. In my experience, teachers are supposed to like pat you on the back, tell you, you can do better. It's gonna be okay. You're intelligent. You're smart. A teacher is supposed to talk to you like Khaled. You feel me? Make you feel like you can do something. Not in the Netherlands, man. Teachers don't give you no confidence. They're like, teacher told me straight up. He said, hey man, this isn't for you. You should do something else. You should do something else. And I was like, excuse me? Boy, that ego took over for a second. I was like, oh, this nigga got me f***ed up. This nigga got me all the way f***ed up. He don't know I'm from Durham, nigga. Like, what's up? But nah, he was right. He was right.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
It doesn't matter. He was right. It was not for me.